Good morning and welcome. Patriot Radio News Hour on this Thursday. Wow, just flying by now. November the 8th. Boy, how many days till Christmas? Somebody said to me that there's like 6 or 7 fake news Fridays till Christmas. I mean, where does all the time go? It's been a crazy 2018, and I think it's going to get a lot more crazy, especially after the election. Still don't know who's won here in the great state of Arizona. Apparently, we've decided that we don't like the technology, and we're doing it all by hand. I heard 8 or 9 more days until we'll know who won the elections here. And they gave this reason. It sounds like a lot. Again, well, I guess we'll have to wait. They're going to count them by hand. I don't know. All the ballots, no hanging chads here in Arizona, but apparently you can bleed through with the markings and all that. So stay tuned. 800-951-0592 is our toll-free number. AllAmericanGold.com. I guess you don't really need the .com. Is the website, and make sure you got to make it part of your daily routine. All this great stuff going on. You can shop online, all the news, the articles, the videos. We, as promised, and Ramoni's so good, on the website today, we have the video where the man on the street, he's got a 10-ounce silver bar, and he's got these bars of chocolate. You know, the Hershey bar, they look like the ones that cost like $1.79 at the store. You know when you go to the checkout and they got the candy there? The regular, it looked like a regular old Hershey bar. And he goes up to random people on the street and says, pick one. They're free. It's free. You can have a Hershey bar or a 10-ounce bar of silver. And it's hilarious how many people took the candy. Finally, actually, one guy, you know what's so funny? The guy that actually knew, there was one. The man on the street could barely get the question out, and he grabbed that bar, the bar of silver like that. Yeah, so think about that. Bar of silver, a 100-ounce silver bar, it's like $1,500. Or a $1.79 candy bar. And the thing is, this is how little people actually know. And you think about, how's that even possible? And the answer is because that's exactly how they wanted it to be. The fact that I'm on the air every day probably drives them insane. Right? They're like, there's going to be a guy out there who's actually trying to educate people. We've spent decades and decades dumbing them down. Now he's going to try to get people educated. And this is all by design. And when we really think about it, go watch it for yourself. It's hilarious and it's sad all at the same time. Speaking of sad, and again, I don't like to do a lot of politics here, but if you didn't see the CNN journalist, and I'm using that, I've got my air quotes going, in the press conference with the president yesterday. It's shameful and it's disgusting, and this is how divided we are. Half the country loves that guy. Jim Acosta, I think, is his name, from CNN. The other half of the country thinks that guy should be fired. That is, listen, whether you like him or you don't, the man is the president of the United States and deserves a level of respect, whether he gives it back to you or not. just like your parents. Your parents deserve respect. You know, I start thinking about, and you've seen this, especially lately, and I don't talk about it here. How many of these kids, they've killed their mother, they've killed their parents, they've killed their grandparents because they wanted them to do their homework, or they wanted them to get a job, or they wanted them to throw out the trash, right? The common decency. And you know what? I was hoping, if there really was going to be unity, that CNN would at least, if nothing else, hey, we've suspended the guy for 2 weeks because that was out of line. All right? But that didn't have matter. In fact, again, like I said, half the country thinks this guy's a hero. It's not heroism. This is everything that is wrong with America. It is why I'm telling you, you know what? You better be ready. Wait till it gets real bad. Listen, housing has just completely slowed down. It hasn't collapsed yet. It's going to. Again. Yes, I know we're pretending that, oh, you know what, the rest of the world's having all these problems, but we're going to be okay. Listen, China's slowing big. That's bad for us. Hate to say it. Bad for us. More problems in Italy today. There's a little problem, see, with all of the deficit numbers, right? Italy, all right, it's going to be this, and then they find out it's much bigger than that. You better be ready. How much does your portfolio weigh is going to be the question of the day. Patriot Radio News Hour, we'll be back.
Chocolate Appreciation Day. You like Hershey bars?
Yeah, definitely.
Just out here giving away some free Hershey bars or a free shiny silver bar.
I'll take a Hershey's.
Okay, it's yours.
Sweet,
Enjoy it. Yeah. Enjoy it. Free chocolate bar or a free 10-ounce bar of silver?
Bam!
Whoa! We got ourselves a winner.
I know it's valuable,
It's
dude.
a smart man right there. I just lost on that one.
Dude, this is rad.
There you go. $200.
Winner!
Loser right here, man. Congratulations.
That was the last two. The part before was I was hoping you're going to get them all the people that turned them down. Probably what happened is he ran into one of our customers. Right? That was probably the mistake that he made. Go out to allamericangold.com. You can watch it all for yourself. Listen, speaking of silver, it is absolutely nuts what's happening in the silver market. There's nothing out there. I mean, there are some, not a ton. There are some rolls of 2018 out there, but there's no more backdates. Those are a thing of the past today, because we looked everywhere. And again, it's just how it is right now. Nobody wants to sell till the price goes up. I get it, right? So there's not a lot of product out there. We've got one bag, which is 100 rolls, which unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, we've already sold 10 rolls, and I haven't even put them online because I think they'll be gone, and I wanted to have some for the show today. We've got 90 rolls of $50. No, $130 is the regular price. Take $10 a roll off, so all the way down to $120. $50 rolls, that makes them cheaper than quarters. Cheaper than quarters, cheaper than dimes. $50 rolls, there's only 90 of them. At 800-951-0592. I mean, you can just do the math here. 10,800 gets you all 90 rolls. So it's not a lot, but it's the best we've got. 800-951-0592. If you want to put them on a credit card at $5 a roll, these are actually going to leave and be on their way to us. They will leave here tomorrow. Well, not here. They'll leave from where they're at tomorrow. They'll be here middle of the week. So, and both places, we kind of did a 50-50 split. We got half of them going up to Colorado, half of them coming over here to Phoenix. $120 a roll. That's $20 half dollars, or it's $10 face value, what we'd call junk silver, pre-1965. So 64s and olders at 800-951-0592. Now, I'm going to read you some headlines. Here's all the things that I have saved, and I'm going to run down a bunch of them, and then we're going to talk about some of them. Child care costs just hit a new record all-time high. But don't worry, there's no inflation. The sidecar plan to your 401k. This is how bad it really is. And, you know, we talk about, there's all these jobs out there and how great it is. More and more, you know what hasn't changed? And this ought to tell you, the amount of people borrowing money from their 401k it's outrageous. And this is a good time. Now they're talking about changing the way your 401k works. Because they already know you don't have a chance, and you know what, to be able to actually afford to be living in this country and saving for retirement. We'll get to that one in a minute. Just start thinking about sidecar plan. New York City now has a record number of homeless students. Right? No one can afford to live. Over half of America, and this was always, I was wondering when this was going to happen. We're finally here. You know, you think about the scales of justice, right? And now we've gone over half. Half of what, you asked? Over half of Americans get more in welfare than we pay in taxes. So we've surpassed the break-even point. Over half of Americans now get more welfare than they get anything else. We'll get to that one hopefully today. The middle class is disappearing from California. And of course, I told you, listen, we need a wall. It's between us and California. Listen, they can't get out of there fast enough. And listen, and don't get me wrong, right? California, I mean, it's beautiful. And I mean this, but obviously if you're riding on the freeways there and you go to our freeways here in Arizona, and Denver's the same way, much cleaner in Arizona and Colorado than California because they can't afford it. But the weather is great, right? And no one can actually afford to live near the beach. The vast majority of people that live in California, right, live inland, which means the weather's not that great. Inland California is very similar to Arizona. But now they're saying the middle class is evaporating now through two things. People moving out, and then people what? Let's face it. I'm no longer middle class. I used to be middle class, but I'm not anymore. More Americans now saying their finances have not improved since the election. That's a hard one, right? Because I say it's better. I mean, again, we got better by spending a whole lot more money. And granted, the stock market, right, they knew Wall Street was so overvalued. They did. Listen, Trump knew it. Could you imagine, where do you think Wall Street would be right now without the tax cuts? Just asking. Where do you think it'd be? 20,000, 18,000, 16,000? Right? Again, another bailout of Wall Street. That's really what it was. I'm sorry. You didn't get those bonuses. Where's the extra $4,000? You didn't get it. Canada secretly collecting banking information on their citizens without their knowledge. I got news for you. Yeah, That's happening everywhere. Even Switzerland said, all right, we give up. We relent. Anybody you want, U.S., Canada, Mexico, whoever, whatever you want to know about our guy, you just call and ask us. We'll tell you everything. Whirlpool is asking Sears for all of their products back. You know what, Whirlpool, I hate to tell you this. You should have never sent it to them in the first place because they're not going to give it back to you. They'd like it back. 62% of all jobs currently being worked fall short of middle-class standards. And I've been saying this forever. This isn't your dad's job market. This isn't the job market of the 80s or the 90s. Heck, it's not even the job market of the early 2000s. Yeah, I know. No way. Unemployment claims are super low. That's all true. Super, super low. I apologize on the static. We'll clear it up here the best we can. The jobs don't pay. The jobs don't offer benefits. The jobs don't even allow you to file for unemployment. Those are just the facts. Are there lots of those jobs? They say there is. And I told you yesterday, they said, hey, there's 7 million jobs out there. That is annoying, right? Every time I really get on a roll, I think they do it on purpose, right? Oh, he's telling the truth again. Quick, get the static going. The national debt will be 6 times larger, and I think we talked about this one, in 75 years. I don't even know what that puts the number at. I mean, we're at 22 times 6. I mean, that's $132 trillion. And I got news for you. It's going to be a lot bigger than that. San Diego home sales collapsed to the lowest levels in 11 years. Record numbers of inventory flood Seattle homes as prices reduced significantly. Venezuela wants to repatriate the rest of its gold. I got news for Venezuela. You should have done that already. I don't know if they're going to let them. 1 in 10 senior households relies on food stamps. I'm shocked it's that low. Now, it says rely. Maybe there's some people that get them and say, well, I could maybe do without. I don't know. But 1 in 10 rely. Mortgage applications dropped to a 4-year low. And this one's going to make you sick. Wells Fargo executives knew about auto insurance overcharges for years, but didn't say a word. Right? They're the scummiest people on earth. I'm sorry. Listen, you want to be humored? Go to your Better Business Bureau, type in your bank, and see the amount of complaints. Right? They dominate. No one's got complaints like banks. Go check it out on your own. But here's what I wanted to get to. So the first story I want to talk about is more than half of Americans receiving more money in various types of government transfer payments. Now, I will say this. That does include Medicare and Medicaid, food stamps, and then Social Security is in there. Now, part of this, I'll say this, you paid into Social Security. You did. Now, here's the problem with it. The government, at least for the baby boomers, you're going to get way more than you ever put into it. It's a Ponzi scheme, right? Because what did they do? They promised you, hey, for a little bit, you just put it in a little bit, and we'll give you a lot of bit. And that only works if what? If you got more money coming in than you got going out. That ended. Now it's the other way around. We got more money going out than we got coming in. Not surprisingly, the transfer payments have finally surpassed taxes. The only top 2 income quantities, they pay more in taxes than they receive in benefits. So only the uber rich. That's the only level where you have more money being paid to the government than you're getting from the government. They said that that means the poor all the way through. I would call it the, kind of that upper middle class area now. And again, I apologize for the static. As soon as the break comes here, we'll try to clear it all up for you. We'll get it fixed for you. But now we've passed the halfway point where over half of it, think about that. And I know a lot of it's Social Security, but that's part of the problem. And when we get back here, I promise we'll get it cleared up. We're going to talk about the new sidecar plan that may be coming to your 401k, which tells you all you need to know about how this great new, remember what they took away from all of us to get this great 401k. Yep, the pension. And how bad is it really going to be for the American worker? 800-951-0592. That is our toll-free number. Rolls of silver $50. Walkers, Franklins, Kennedys, pre-1965. There's 20 in a roll. They're $120 a piece. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break.
This is the Phyllis Schlafly Report, a daily commentary continuing the conservative pro-family legacy of Phyllis Schlafly. Now, the president of Phyllis Schlafly Eagles, Ed Martin.
There is a moment when a movement loses its initial credibility with the general public, and this Brett Kavanaugh confirmation may be that moment for the Me Too movement. The collapse of support for the re-election of North Dakota Democrat Senator Heidi Heitkamp, who ultimately voted against Kavanaugh, illustrated the backlash against doubtful accusations publicized by radical feminists. 40 years ago, in the 1970s, an earlier wave of feminists called women's liberation was cresting. Led by then ACLU attorney Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the feminists came close to putting their harmful Equal Rights Amendment, the ERA, into the U.S. Constitution. But then the feminists also overplayed their hand, much as they did with Kavanaugh. With a special appropriation of federal tax dollars in 1977, the feminists held 50 state conventions for women, culminating in a national convention in Houston to promote the International Women's Year. The nation watched in dismay as a parade of angry liberal women screamed and screeched their demands, primarily about lesbian rights and taxpayer-funded abortions. The public turned away, the ERA never garnered another state, and 5 states that had hastily ratified the ERA rescinded their previous ratifications. A similar fate awaits the overly hyped Me Too movement, which started a year ago in response to the lurid accusations against Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, and others. Ostensibly a protest against the proverbial casting couch, which has always existed in Hollywood, the Me Too movement is a double standard, as it does not complain about many women who willingly use sex to advance their showbiz careers. Meanwhile, our nation does benefit from a new respect for ancient legal safeguards against false accusations. These include innocent until proven guilty, the right to confront your accuser, and the need for a statute of limitations on all accusations of sexual assault. On March 11, 2016, I watched as Phyllis Schlafly asked candidate Donald Trump to appoint conservative judges who would defend the Constitution. With the seating of Justice Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court, President Trump has honored his pledge in a spectacular way.
This has been the Phyllis Schlafly Report from Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. In 2016, the conservative movement lost one of our strongest leaders, but Mrs. Schlafly's work and her voice continue through this radio program, our work in Washington, and the influence you have in your own community. Be part of that legacy at phyllisschlafly.com. We encourage you to bookmark phyllisschlafly.com and join us again for the Phyllis Schlafly Report.
Welcome back. Patriot Radio News Hour. I apologize on the static. We've jumped to the cell phone. We're going to get the word out. We're not going to be denied here. 800-951-0592. First of all, shout out to my good buddy Joe. He just ordered some rolls of $50. Joe, I appreciate you. For those of you, you always remember your first, your first girlfriend, your first true love, and you always want to document, right? You always want to document your kids, the first time they walked, the first day of school, right? All that stuff. Too many of us, not me, but a lot of us, the first time you were married. But Joe Madone was the first big guy I had ever taken an order from, and we have had a really good relationship over the years, and he just called in. He's actually moved. He only can listen now through the computer or through our podcast or what have you. But Joe, Wendy, or Arlene, let me know you checked in today. I appreciate you. I hope you're well, and thank you for continuing to support us. By the way, we're down to 70 rolls, $50. Don't wait, $120. $120 a roll on $50. That's cheaper than quarters, cheaper than dimes. 800-951-0592. Now, talking about the sidecar plan. This has to do with your 401ks, and really what it has to do with is how broke America really is. Well, economists disagree, and again, I don't know who would disagree. This may be one of those. It's like is it Dentine or Trident gum, 4 out of 5? Whether there's a retirement savings crisis in the United States, there's an emergency savings crisis. So whether there's a big one or a little one, here's how hilarious that statement really is. Hey, nobody can afford to have to buy a new set of tires, right? New set of tires, cheap ones even now. I don't even know if you can get it done for $500. I don't know if you could. Can you get 4 tires for $500? I don't think so. Maybe. Most likely, you can. But then, do you actually want to mount it and balanced and all that, right? Then maybe you can't. Getting more Americans to save for emergency. See, this is the problem, right? They just don't want to save, right? That's the problem. See, that's what it is. You know what? Now I understand. We just love to spend all the money. We got plenty of money. We just like to spend it. They got to wake up. The reason why people don't have emergency funds is because by the time they're done paying all their bills, they got no more money. And then it says this is humorous. Maybe this is the problem with these people. They don't live in reality, especially the low and middle income earners. By the way, that's like 90% of the country. Don't worry, there's no crisis. 90% of the country's got no money, but don't worry. Not being able to do so. Now, again, they're talking, forget about retirement, okay? They're not talking about that. They're talking about being able to come up with an extra $500 in a month, unexpectedly. The water heater broke, right? Forget about air conditioning. You need a new AC. What is that? 10 grand? 15 grand? The statistics are scary. In the past year, 48% of households, so here we are right at that 50% again, right? 48% of households faced at least one unexpected related expense to an emergency. Now, what kind of crap is that? Sorry. Only 48%? You're telling me everybody, listen, we all live in Arizona. I guess everyone doesn't live in Arizona. Every 18 months, you need a new battery. I guess, well, I just got one, so I know. Batteries now, it's not $500, but it's like $160. I mean, that's just what they cost. According to the latest banking survey, 69% of Americans have less than $1,000. Wow. Not having enough emergency savings for unexpected expenses is the number one financial concern for millennials, for Gen Xers, and for baby boomers. That's number one. Listen, and this is the great economy. And you already know, because you know what I'm talking. You all out there know I know what I'm talking about. It's slowing. It's still better, but it's slowing. This number's going to get worse, is what I'm saying. Help may be on the way. See, oh, that's great. A growing number of employers' benefit-sponsored programs. Now, actually getting a job that allows you to be in one of these programs, that's getting a lot harder to do. They said, and members of Congress are taking steps towards correcting a long-standing problem. Okay, so now this hasn't happened yet. Okay, but obviously Washington, along with the banks, because you know they're involved, and the big Wall Street companies are talking about creating a new type of emergency savings plans offered through your 401k. Any of you that have had to borrow money from your 401k, you know how hard it is, right? You know how hard it is to do. Interest has expanded almost exponentially. According to David John, a senior strategy political advisor for the AARP, right? He's lobbying Washington. They're the ones, AARP is the ones helping to try to get this done. U.S. workers are frequently tapping their 401k plans through loans and hardship withdrawals to come up with cash for emergencies, putting its retirement in jeopardy. Listen, it's already in jeopardy. Whether you want to admit it or not, that's probably the only thing left to do. We're going to finish with the sidecar plan when we return. 800-951-0592. If you're just tuning in, the silver special of the day today. Again, I wish that there was a little more product out there, but this is just how it is right now, right? Nobody wants to sell silver at $14.50. Everybody is expecting a big jump in the silver price over the next 12 months. So that means product's just hard to get. We started out, we had 100 rolls, $50 when we started this morning. Right now we're down in somewhere like, I think 65 or 66 rolls of $50. We got them all the way down to $120 a roll. That puts the $50 at cheaper than quarters or dimes. And again, obviously when we put things on special, we want to give you value. This is it in the silver market. This is where you want to be. Rolls of the $50, $120 a roll at 800-951-0592. So they're talking about, we got the AARP involved, we've got Wall Street involved, the big banks involved, all lobbying Congress now for what they're calling a sidecar plan to your retirement. Because here's the reality that most of us are facing. I can either put my money in my 401k or I can pay my bills. I can't do both, right? Or, hey, I can do both as long as nothing bad happens. If my kid doesn't need braces, I don't need new tires on the car, if the water heater doesn't break. I'm not even talking about a big expense. Right? We're not talking about you need a new roof. We're not talking about you need a new air conditioner, right? We're not talking about I got to pay for my kid to go to college. Right? We're definitely not talking about a medical bill. 29% of workers have taken a loan or early withdraw from their 401ks or similar plans. Wow, that's just 30%. And this is the good time. According to the Transamerica Center on Retirement, 12 million Americans take out payday loans annually. So that's an addition. So you can see that. And remember, right, they had the big war on the payday lenders out there. Right? Because here's the problem. What are these people supposed to do? The bank's not going to loan them the money. They don't have a 401k to get it from. What are they to do? So many people don't have the capacity to address a financial emergency, and the 401k is the only pot of money that they can tap into. I thought that was supposed to be our retirement. Whoops. Listen, it's not. Remember what it was originally for. Go all the way back to the early 80s. And this is the scam that they ran on all of us. This was supposed to be a supplement, right? Social Security was supposed to be a supplement for your retirement. Your 401k was supposed to be a supplement to your pension. Instead, what did they do? They got rid of the pension. Why do you think all of these? Remember when? I don't know if you remember this or not. And I wasn't even old enough to work yet when this first came. I want to say it was like 81, 82, when the 401k first became prevalent. Companies were matching like dollar for dollar. You know why? Because they do. Hey, by the way, we're getting rid of all these pensions. What a great deal this is for us. Right? And of course, people don't realize, right? They try to go, oh, look, just out of the kindness of their hearts, they're going to match you on your 401k. Of course, only up to like, 2%, 3% of it. And of course, now some companies still match, but usually it's 50 cents or a quarter now. Right? It's not even dollar for dollar. When they first came out, all the companies were giving you dollar for dollar match because they knew they were going to dump the pen. That's how much more money was in it for them, which just should have told you how screwed we were really getting. Now they're saying this is the only bucket of money left. Remember what I told you about your money. They've encircled all of it. They've got our bank accounts encircled. They've got our retirement accounts encircled, our 401ks, our IRAs, our money market. They're all encircled. But don't worry, they'll only take it if it's an emergency. And now apparently they're trying to figure out a way to let you take your own money. Of course, remember, it's not really yours anymore. If you have an emergency, it's the craziest thing you've ever heard. Americans are embracing the idea of a workplace-sponsored emergency savings plan. Yeah, who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't want to? By the way, 3 out of every 4 people said that, yes, they would want this ability. Here's how the plan, and then all the details aren't quite worked out yet, but here's what they're saying is they want to be able to have your ability to tap into a part of your 401k for emergency. Right? In other words, hey, had an emergency, my kid broke his leg. Right? I had an emergency, my hot water heater broke. I had an emergency, and I had to get 4 new tires put on my car. I don't know. They don't have all the details yet, but somehow, some way, they're wanting to allow you to make it a little more user friendly to spend your retirement account before you retire. How tough is it really getting out there? 800-951-0592. We'll be back. Final segment. Woo! Final segment here on this Friday. I wishful thinking it was Friday. On this Thursday. 800-951-0592. The remaining rolls of silver half dollars at $120 a roll at 800-951-0592. The Dow is mixed. The Dow is up. The S&P, the Nasdaq are down. Gold's down 3 at 1226. Gold's just sitting there, right? Hanging out. Wait, we got the Fed meeting. They're going to no rate hike, but they're going to let us know they're going to hike in December. The Dow's trying to say, oh, it's great because maybe nobody will do anything now that the Democrats got control of the House. We'll see. And silver, believe it or not, it's at 1445. But it was down all the way down to 1435. It's been coming back most of the day. Take the time. Grab some of these rolls of half dollars or $120 a roll on gold. Just so you know, here's what I've got available. And these are available both in Phoenix and in Colorado. I've got 18 $20 gold pieces at $1,300. I've only got 18. I apologize if we wish we had more. Got 18 of them at $1,300 at 800-951-0592. So rolls a half dollars. They're $130 a roll. And then U.S. $20 Liberties. Those are the older ones, 1866 to 1907 at $1,300. 800-951-0592. Remember, tomorrow's Friday, so we're going to have Fake News Friday for everybody tomorrow. We're looking at maybe possibly making a few changes to that. We still haven't figured out exactly what we're going to do yet, but once we do, you'll be the second to know. And really, because it's amazing. You know, think about it, Fake News Friday. All the stories that we do on Fake News Friday are actually real stories, and we just changed a small piece of one of them. Really, the show should probably be why aren't these all fake news, but they're actually real. So tune in for that. Don't forget, right? All these different ways we offer you the ability to have your own emergency savings account. I'll tell you right now. So many of our customers, they've been customers of ours for over 20 years. They put it away and put it away and put it away and put it away. And now when they have an emergency, what do? They call us and they'll sell a 20. They'll sell a couple of $10 libs or a $5 lib. Be your own, I always say, be your own central bank. Have your own emergency savings plans. 800-951-0592. Don't forget about the metals program, right? For as little as $100 a month, you can start saving for your retirement as well. And just remember, gold's up 30 times. That's 3,000% since we went full fiat in 1971. It's amazing. You think about all the risks that come with investing in Wall Street and paper assets and all of those things. And gold essentially has done the same, right? Wall Street's not, and it always fluctuates from here or there. But essentially, Wall Street and gold have done about the same, except with gold, you don't have any of the heartache. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. One more show tomorrow. Take care. Have a great day.